Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. And this is your Quilt As You Go series. And in this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to make blocks 11 and 12. If you are interested in doing this series, there will be a link below your YouTube screen for blocks 1 and 2. In that tutorial, all of the supplies that you will need will be listed. Now let's get started. As I was creating this design, I was kind of torn as how to do it. So I'm going to give you several different ways. These are just little simple tulip looking type of flowers. And I have them multiple colors growing off of one vine with some leaves on it. So you could draw a squiggly line, put your 3 little flower petals up here, and then however many leaves. So this is one way. Now let me show you the way I completed it. I made the flower petals much larger. So they're anywhere from 2 to 2.5 inches across and about 2 inches tall overall. I gave each flower its own vine. So I just went down this way. On the pink one, just a slight curve. On the purple one, a much more dramatic curve. So they're overlapping each other. And then I did leaves. Now you can do as many leaves as you like on this. You can draw these any size. Now you can make the flowers a different size, maybe some really big and then others much smaller. So it's really up to you. Always sketch it out first to see how you would like it. Color it in with suggested colors for yourself, and then go ahead and draw it on. So lay these out, draw it on your fusible web. Make sure you use the lines on your fusible webbing to guide you through as to how big to make them. By now you should be pretty comfortable with your fusible web. Then go ahead and cut them out. Make sure you cut out 1/4 inch outside of your drawn lines. Cut it out of your fusible web sheet. Remove that plain paper off the back and then place it on your background fabric. And just keep playing with it. Lift it up, put it in a different direction. See how you would like it. Imagine little lines where you want them to go. Then go ahead and finger press them down. Then take your fabric marker and draw your stems and your leaves. Now remember, if you are using a fabric marking pin that is heat sensitive, you want to draw your lines after you fuse them on. So again, follow your package instructions for fusing. So if you have that kind of marker, fuse the fabric, then draw your lines. Now make sure you put your paper on the back. If you don't put the paper on there, your fabric is going to pucker and your stitching will not look very well. It will look kind of funny and uneven. So that's the reasoning for having that paper on there. And then here's my stitching order. I did the vines first on all 3 flowers. And I used a wide width satin stitch. All of the settings for your different stitches are given in that very first video for flower blocks 1 and 2. So if you've forgotten what they were, refer back to that tutorial. Then do your leaves and use a narrow satin stitch. Then I did the flower petals and I used a medium width satin stitch. When you're done, don't forget to remove the paper off of the back. So now take the remaining of your fabric pieces, your fabric for the very back of the block, and you want to place it with pretty side down, and you're looking at the back side, the not so pretty side. Then your cotton batting, and then your flower block. And your cotton batting, remember, is the same size as your background fabric. Make sure you pin all of the layers together and then do your quilting stitch pattern. And I do recommend, if you're a beginner, you just go and outline this design, going out anywhere from 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch around your design, all the way around. Now let's move on to the last flower design. Now, as you've noticed, the last few blocks has been just freehand. You don't need to have a special template, but you can if you want to. So you're just freehand drawing. Even if your lines aren't beautiful, remember, it's folk art. It doesn't matter. It's not supposed to be perfect. So here, again, I was a little torn on this one. I wasn't sure how to big or small to make the flowers. But up here is kind of a circle with a little circle in the middle. Then this was kind of a diamond shape with a circle in the middle. And then a misshapen heart. And then just kind of a wild scalloped edge flower petal with circle. I also decided to do separate vines for each flower. So for instance, up here, this vine stops here, but picks up here and then goes out. So you want to make sure, if you start a vine up here, that you make sure you see where it goes. But if it doesn't come out just right, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to notice. Remember, it's folk art. So here's what I came up with. Again, I did a misshapen circle. And this circle isn't perfect either. Remember, it's all freehand. It makes it look more whimsical if you do it that way. And then this is somewhat of a diamond, kind of a kite shape that you would put up in the air to play with. And then a great big misshapen scalloped edge. And then I did the heart much larger and kind of went real wonky with that too. And then again, I drew separate vines. This one up here started here and went right down through here. And this one over here just went out this way. And this one, you can't see it up here, but you have to imagine it went down here. Now it's a little off, but nobody's going to notice. And then go down. I don't worry about the small stuff. And then the one for this big flower went out this way. Now I drew my leaves, and I decided to have a leaf, half of a leaf, popping out behind this flower. These are just suggestions. It's something for you to try. So again, before you stitch, put your paper behind it. It's real important. And also, if you've got that fabric marker that is heat sensitive, you want to make sure you draw these lines after you fuse your flower petals on. So fuse those, then draw your lines. If you don't have a heat-sensitive marking pen, you're just using another one that's water-based, then you can draw the lines either way, before or after you do your fusing. And here's my stitching order. I did all of the vines first, the stems I should say, and I used a wide width. Then I did the leaves. I did this little triangle up here first. Whatever is farthest away is what you do first. This is on top of this one. So you want to do this first so that the edge of your stitches does not go over this leaf at all. Then I did this one. Then you do this one and this one, and I used medium width satin stitch. Then here are misshapen circles here and here. I also used a medium width. Now when you're done, make sure you remove the paper off of the back. You probably noticed that I didn't stitch on all my drawn lines, like this leaf up here. I changed my mind, but how do you get rid of it? Well, because I used a water-soluble marking pen, all you need to do is just squirt a little bit of water on it and it will disappear. So that's how you get rid of the lines you don't stitch on. So now, again, you want to layer all your fabrics, and you really want to do this as you go. Don't wait to layer till you got all the blocks done. It becomes tedious. If you finished one block completely before you go on to the next one, when you do your last one, you're really ready to stitch it all together. So take your fabric for the back side down, then your cotton batting, and then your flower block. Pin it all together and do your little quilting stitch pattern all the way around. I hope you've been enjoying this Quilt As You Go series. I've had a lot of fun putting it together, and I guess because I can just let my imagination grow wild, and that's why I liked it. Now, if you haven't seen all of the other blocks, if this is the first one you've seen, I'm going to refer you to looking below your YouTube screen where all the video links are listed pertaining to this quilt series. So scroll down to the description section, click on the down arrow or show more. It'll open up and you'll see all of the links. Remember, in the very first one, you'll get all of the settings and a complete list of all the supplies and how much fabric you need to purchase. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. See you next time.